Hey, everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted podcast. We are stacked today. We have David Mitchell, UFC vet, King of the Cage vet. Now you're doing submission grappling. You've done everything. You're here with us, black belt under David Terrell. You're just the man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Correction, it's Fabio Prado black belt.
Oh, it said David
I
Terrell.
was with Dave Terrell up till purple belt, so
okay.
That Dave Terrell purple belt still is standing pretty strong. But
nice.
I'm with Fabio Prado and Uriah Faber and Team Alpha Male in Sacramento.
I like it. We also have Heather Jo Clark as well.
What's up?
How you doing, Heather?
I'm doing great.
Any news?
No news, but I feel like something's coming. The hurricane is brewing, so it's just finding a place to land.
Wow, that was some promo. Okay, here we go. I want to thank our sponsor, Blue Apron, the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. Their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. And I'm telling you, people, cooking builds strong family bonds, and research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often. Those who spend a lot at restaurants or at high-end grocery chains can now spend under $10 per person for a delicious meal. Me and my girl, we have Blue Apron Night. It's the greatest night we have. They've established themselves partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the U.S. And as a result, their beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals. Their seafood is sourced sustainably under the standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Check it out. It's affordable. They got variety, flexible, easy, and guaranteed. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. Go to blueapron.com/MMA roast. You'll love how good it feels, how good it tastes, and be able to create.
How it feels.
Yes, how good it feels. So blueapron.com/MMA roast. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. Also, people, when you find yourself in need, trust in speedweed.com for overnight deliveries to over 1,088 cities across California. I smoke this stuff. I'm not advocating pot smoke, but if you do, go to Speedweed.
Medication.
Because they have best edibles, best concentrate, best topicals, best vapes, and more. Use code ROASTED for $10 off orders over $100 at speedweed.com. Me, I'm doing all right. I had shows all week. I was at the Dime last week. Andrew came to the Dime with Garcia, with Alyssa Garcia. Yes, they came to the show. It was awesome. It was a fun show.
Did you roast Alyssa?
A little bit. She had a date, so I don't know. I think it was a date. It was some good-looking, handsome, buff dude. I know she says she goes for fat guys. I don't believe anything she says anymore. This guy was like a fucking Ford model, and she was with him. But it was funny because there were these like African American ladies that were laughing at everything, and one of them had like earrings the shape of the continent Africa, and then she had like
Seriously?
Yeah, then she had like African like bottoms, like that colors, and I was like, oh, are you from Africa? And some lady's like, that's racist. Why? Because they're black. And I'm like, really? Like, if I was wearing a shirt that said, Ireland, and a hat that said Ireland, you would assume that I was drunk. Okay, so that is not
Not
racist.
that you were Irish. Yeah, okay.
Yes, that was the joke. Thank you. So that was that. Then I had a show on Wednesday. I went to San Clemente Island. Took a little plane to do a show for the military.
What's little? Like how many people?
Like 12 people. It was little. And it was great. It was a great island. I love doing shows for the troops. They're the best.
What island?
San Clemente. It was like like 20 minutes off.
I thought San Clemente is a city in LA, near LA.
It is, but this was San Clemente Island.
Okay.
And it was like they have like a fake town that looks like the towns in Afghanistan or the towns in like Iraq. That's where they like train.
Do the training.
Yeah, and they have like actors that come in and like live there for the training. Like it was just like people that it's crazy.
Like actors that like are they racially?
No,
like, okay.
Basically they have people from Afghanistan come.
No.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me.
Alan.
So Alan Jouban just showed up, and then then it was crazy because like there was mice everywhere, mice all over the island. And so then they brought in cats to like get rid of the mice.
Yeah, so
and now
there's cats everywhere.
Yeah, now they have a cat problem. So they were
what
like,
do they bring in to fix that?
Lesbians. They're bringing in lesbians. No, they're so now they have a cat problem on the island.
How do you get rid of cats? So you bring in dogs?
I think they're doing other types of things, but yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I was like, that's terrible, bro. I said bring in lesbians. Like, it was not these kind of.
You like cats? Like, why don't you like protest or something? You should have started a protest.
He said these are like feral cats, like wild cats.
So it's okay.
I don't think it's. Look, I'm just telling you what they told me. I'm not saying. And then so that was that.
They kill all the wildlife.
Man, I'm sorry
Yeah,
I
not
missed
bad.
this conversation. I feel kind of bad now.
It's no, I did a show for the military, and they like, I was on this like remote island, and they had like mice on it, and then they had too many mice, and they brought in cats, and now they have too many cats, so they have to get rid of the cats.
That's shitty.
Yeah, because the cats were eating the lizards, I guess, that are like endangered, some kind of endangered species lizards. Yeah, it's a mad. I'm like, this is what you guys do, right? Shouldn't you guys
Who
do?
knew?
So that was that, and then I did a show on Friday for people that were in recovery. It was like this like 12, 15 men
Recovery
for drugs,
Okay.
like either heroin or opiates, and those guys were laughing at everything. They needed to laugh. But then I had another show at like half hour later for all women. It was like 12 women, like 15 women and me. It was like the hottest woman I've and
Did you cater it to like? Did you change stuff or did you use everything?
It was a little bit like intimidating in some ways, but I'd be like, "Who here had done this?" And everyone raised their hands for everything.
So did you tell them your compacts like the
The
joke-
vagina,
the
yeah,
vagina
I
jokes?
did that.
They liked that one?
They did. I'm not sure why they had me. But they were all laughing.
Okay.
They all looked at me like these were like ex-party girls or like ex.
Did they put you on a chair and they told you to strip?
No. That was like that. I did not. I don't think that would help their recovery. That's what you want. Okay. So So then that was that, and then Friday and Saturday at the Laugh Factory, and then I did a show last night. It was funny. There was like 3 black women, and I was like making fun of them, and the girl goes, "Whose man is that?" Like that was her way of being like you stupid. Like whose man is that? I guess.
Why
that's
were you
the
making
new-
fun of the 3 black women?
I think I called them like En Vogue reunion. So I was like saying something that like
En Vogue
it was something. So how are you doing, Alan? What's going on with you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've just been kind of laying up, man. A little injuries here and there. Had a cold for a while, little things like that, and so back to training now. Things are good.
Good.
Yeah.
Any fight? Any news in a fight?
Man, I was about to text Sean Shelby on the way here. I've been I have new management now, and they're great, and they're dealing with my matchmaking stuff, which takes the burden off of me. But it's been a couple weeks, man. I haven't heard anything, so I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna just call Sean and see what's going on. But yeah, I was shooting for December, then some things happened with me. I had to kind of push it back, so I'm still shooting for a January fight, mid-January, maybe the 20th, and I think there's a UFC in Boston on the 20th, and there's a UFC on Big Fox on the 27th or something like that. So I'm shooting for one of those right now.
Have you met David Mitchell, by the way?
Just now. What's up, man?
So
I've seen
David,
some of your fights.
Very cool, man.
David has a record of 25-7, right?
22-7 in MMA.
MMA, damn. That's a lot of
22-7. Beat
18
guys like
subs.
Bobby Green.
Bobby Green. What weight are you? You're a 55er?
I fought him at 170,
Okay.
but I don't do that weight no more.
What weight are you now?
I fight at 85.
I was gonna say you look like a big guy. Bobby Green's a smaller weight class. Yeah.
But then you beat Dave Huckabee, and he must have been 240 when you beat him, right?
260.
And what did you weigh for that fight?
I think I weighed in at 209. He had like 60 pounds on
So
me.
now you fight at 85.
Well, I'm fighting Anthony Smith in a submission only fight, and he said he was going to come in at like 215. So I'm going to fight him. It's sub only, so we just do whatever.
What do you walk at?
I'm probably like 210, 208 right now.
Okay.
85 is reachable.
Yeah, I was going through some of your stuff, man. Like, so you played soccer in high school and college, right?
Oh yeah, high school.
High school, you were a good soccer player?
I was all right. I was decent. I was MVP like my senior year, but like at a
Being
school with
honest here,
1,000
yeah.
people, or it wasn't.
But then you went into construction for 6 years.
Yeah, I was just working. I didn't do no sports or
And you
nothing.
walk into David Terrell's gym.
Yeah, actually, I started training like on my own. Like I saw Chuck Liddell. It's funny because we ran into him yesterday. I saw Chuck Liddell fight Tito Ortiz on TV, and I was, I want to do that. It looks cool, So I started like working out all crazy, and then like I didn't know anything about like what MMA really was or jiu-jitsu or anything. I was like trying to take gladiator challenge fights, and then luckily my girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, there's this guy Terrell. He's 2 hours down the road. Watch one of his fights." And then she's like, "If you really want to, fight and train, you should just go down there." So I went down there and. My life's been changed forever for sure.
Now he knocked out Matt Lindland in 25 seconds. That guy, he was 7-2, but he was sort of like, what happened with him? How come he got injuries, or why did he?
He had some injury problems and stuff like that, but I think he was just like so damn good that I think like the pressure of the performance pressure and anxiety and stuff was just like he just likes to roll and doesn't really compete
Who
anymore.
knocked out Lindland in 25 seconds?
His coach, David Terrell.
Oh, your coach did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Evan Tanner for the title and didn't really train properly for that fight, and he lost. And I think that just kind of was enough for him. He didn't really want to do it anymore.
By the way, he fought your coach, Kenny Johnson.
Oh, really? You fought Kenny back in the day?
Way back in the day. I was like trying to dig back. That was like so long ago.
Yeah.
How did that fight play out?
Maybe you could tell me because I don't even remember.
It says that you submitted him, I think in like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah,
So he went for a takedown, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think I triangled him probably.
Triangle him? Man.
Something.
Kenny.
Yeah, you got to have a little talk to him.
Kenny Johnson. Kenny Johnson just got his black
Maybe
belt.
we'll do a rematch in submission grappling.
There we
Would
go.
you be
Hey,
open?
that's what's cool about submission
be cool.
grappling is like, you know.
Now
you can fight anybody
Kenny's
and-
like, what are you, Kenny? Kenny 46 these days?
Yeah, but they're both black belts.
You're a black belt too?
Yeah.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm 38.
All good. Because Kenny's still in the gym every day,
Yeah.
attending his own wrestling practices with all these young guns. So
Or
it'll
maybe
be
that
fine.
might be a good.
We're setting it up.
match for-
You don't even know, Kenny. You are going to be some grappling pretty soon, dude.
So, Alan, did you hear about this guy over here is going to be doing we were going to set up a fight because we're just trying to find.
For Adam?
wants-
he's
With what, like
kinda
a
skinny. Look at him,
handicapped
really
kid or
kinda
something?
skinny, right? So, with everything that's been going on in this family.
I'm
so we're-
retired.
So I talked to
You're
Eve.
tired?
I
I'm
talked
retired.
To Eve,
Oh,
and
you're
I talked-
retired.
Yeah. And
You're not retarded.
I'm retarded, yes.
No, you're
Go
not.
ahead.
Okay. So we talked to Eve. I talked to who else? I talked. He was totally in it. He was
Eve-
like,
Eve
I
wants
saw
to
him
train
on-
you.
yeah.
You
So
and
we're
Eve
gonna coach
Edwards?
him.
She wants to train
We're
me
gonna
for.
coach him for a fight.
We're not with Eve Edwards.
Yeah,
Eve
me
and
versus
I are
Eve.
gonna-
Bring it on,
No,
motherfucker.
Eve and I are gonna
Oh.
coach him for a fight.
Uh-huh.
And-
Oh, Eve is going to coach. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
we're gonna coach him for a fight, and we've got
Gladiator
a couple
challenge,
offers.
like he was saying. Hit the gladiator scene.
No,
What are you looking at over here?
I want to make sure your mic is on.
Is it shit? Okay.
I think
You're gonna do a
Andrew-
wrestling match,
Andrew
right?
was-
Yeah, wrestling. I say a wrestling match.
Oh, a wrestling match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Alan,
Well,
me and
originally
Alan
we were gonna
wrestled.
do a
Remember,
fight.
We wrestled outside, like in the middle of the street. Remember the Legends? They had that like gym
Outside?
in the middle of the sidewalk.
Oh, you mean the like the mini octagon outside?
Yeah, they had a mini
okay, okay.
octagon that was like
Okay,
it
well-
was on the sidewalk of Hollywood, so people had to walk around it.
You
and,
guys
and-
were fighting.
and me and Alan went.
And
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is like right when the UFC was,
Yeah, it was like 9
the-
years ago.
the underground thing.
Wait,
yeah.
when you fought in that? Because I remember Victor telling me that you were fighting at some outdoor event, like many.
No, we
years
just
ago.
trained
No,
at
that
some
was
gym.
probably like
Oh.
some Thai
Yeah.
New Year thing or something. But no, at the original Legends gym. We're having some audio issues here, guys.
No.
We're not having audio
No,
issues here.
we're going to start the show. We're going to have an Invicta press conference right now, real quick, between two girls that are fighting in Invicta.
Okay, we'll get back to the. Well,
then
is
we're gonna
this
get
gonna
back
be a
to my-
wrestling-
We're making
wrestling or
our
a
own
fight?
press conference.
Yeah,
or they're
yeah, we're making our own.
Just going from here because it's not FaceTime.
So
Okay, cool.
I originally wanted it to be a fight, but he's still a little timid, so
I don't-
he wants to make it a wrestling match.
Adam has that money maker. I don't think he's willing to sacrifice
I'm
that.
willing-
Yeah, but it can be like puppy gloves and.
I don't think he's willing to sacrifice his
But-
forehead.
Look, if I fight, I'm gonna have to win, and I don't. I have like zero jujitsu training. My Muay Thai is fucking garbage. My boxing is
Okay, so
okay, but wrestling is the only thing I'm actually good at.
Let's be honest.
It's not even.
It's not even okay.
Yeah, it's not even okay. Like, what am I? What am I gonna do? And the time that I could be spending on this fight, I could be trying to like do a comedy special and having a
No,
career.
Adam, but you need some motivation to get yourself back in shape because you're.
I'm in
looking
shape.
really-
I lost 30
You
pounds.
look really skinny.
I was fat.
He looks great, man. You look great, bro.
Oh, thank
Don't
you.
listen to her. I like that shirt too.
Oh, no problem.
I'm with GSP all the way.
Yeah. By the way, you trained with Bisbing
I did.
for his last fight. Were you surprised with the GSP Bisbing fight?
In a way, I hated GSP always shows that lead jab Superman, and I like did that every single round I went with Bisbing. I threw that just so he would see it, and then he got hit with it. That wasn't like the beginning of the end of the fight, but he got hit with it, and I was like, fuck, man! Like we drilled that so many times, and there was certain things that I was I don't know. I don't say I was surprised. I'll tell you this, man. And I'm not trying to like. It's already old news. I mean, Bisbing's fighting this week, but Bisbing hurt himself the last sparring session. Before he got on the plane, our last sparring session, I just got out the ring with him. His wrestling coach got in the ring with him, took him down, boom, popped his rib out. He was in a tremendous amount of pain. If you've been through that soft tissue damage sucks.
Horrible.
And that's what he gets on the plane with to go to fight week. Doesn't say a peep about it all week. Has the fight. After the fight says, you know what, I was in tremendous shape. GSP was a better man. So Bisbing is obviously, not a lot of, he's got a love-hate fan base. But when I saw him not even even in the post-fight press conference, not even mention the injury or anything at all. Either A, he healed miraculously fast, or B, he just says, he's just not a guy that's going to give excuses and stuff. So I was proud of him for going and just making the fight happen and fighting hard. But I would have, as much as I love GSP, and he's such a good guy, there's nothing bad you can say about it, helping Bisping for the camp, I wanted to see him do well. So I was a little disappointed for him. But if somebody's going to win, I'm glad it was GSP. I'm glad it wasn't like a freaking Colby Covington or somebody that beat him. You know what I mean?
Now, who do you think is going to win?
You're a friend of the show.
We will get to Colby in a second. But who do you think is going to win this fight, Kelvin versus Bisping this week?
Man, it's tough. Okay, I mean, there's two sides to it. I would say Kelvin is going to be fresh. Kelvin's a fresh fighter. He had a full camp, maybe for a different guy, but he had a full camp. He's coming in fresh and hungry. Bisping took some damage in that last fight, like even though he got submitted, his face was swole up. He took some hits.
So he hasn't been able to train really, I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet you the last 3 weeks, all he did was is lick his wounds and hit pads. You know what I'm saying? He's like, let me just stay sharp. Let me stay sharp, keep my cardio where it is. Where Kelvin has been kind of building and ready to peak on this certain day. So Kelvin kind of has that advantage that Bisping he doesn't know how tough Bisping's going to be on that day because he might still have some deep tissue bruising and some things that hurt. But with that said, you know how it is when you fight, and immediately after the fight, for like the week after your fight, I feel like I know exactly what I need to be doing in training because you still have that mental and that feel of how to fight, and then like it kind of goes away. But so Bisping just fought. He's kind of got the feel, the vibe, the energy of what it's like to fight live again. Kelvin has been a longer time, so he kind of has that advantage. He's taking this on a whim, short notice. If he wins or loses, doesn't make that much of a difference anymore. Now that he lost the belt, and he still got that, he fought so recently that he's gonna know.
If he definitely wants to get back to that
you're
belt,
right.
it matters.
It does matter, but I mean, it matters in this. I think Bisping, if he beat GSP, was gonna maybe try to fight one more time and then retire. Now that he lost, he took the short notice fight. If he loses, is he gonna go out on a loss?
That's what I'm saying.
If he wins, he could retire. But was he gonna retire on Fight Pass? You know what I'm saying? Like a Fight Pass card and wherever this is, China, Japan, where's this at? China.
But don't you think that Kelvin has nothing to really lose because Kelvin's not even this is not even his like weight class?
That's what I'm saying. He has nothing.
I mean, he's gonna go down to 170, which is what he should be. I mean, what? So
this is his weight class. So was he talking about going back?
Yeah, he said.
I don't think he should do it, man.
He's doing great at 85.
Yeah, why go back?
Because look how big Jouban was compared to him. I mean, Jouban was significantly.
But he was also beating. Well, wasn't he?
He caught him with a punch. I wouldn't say he was beating him.
Okay, wouldn't beat him up.
First round, he kind of caught him, but then it was like
He's competitive at the highest level at 85. The guys do get a little bit bigger when you start talking about Yoel Romero's and Luke Rockholds and such. Those guys will be bigger than Kelvin. But so is GSP. GSP looked okay against Bisping, but think about GSP versus Luke Rockhold. GSP's going to look tiny. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys. Robert Whitaker, he's not a very big guy as well. I think Kelvin's doing well. I don't want him back at welterweight with us. No, but even for his career, all jokes aside, why struggle with that weight loss? Why focus on cutting weight for 3 weeks when you could just walk into the 85 fight with a short weight cut? So I think he does better there.
You think so? But at 170, he's basically undefeated. I mean, his only losses to Tyron Woodley. In that fight, he came in like he was in the hospital the day before, and you could almost say
his only loss. Well, his only loss in the cage was to Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
But then how many times did he miss weight? 4?
Yeah, because he's undisciplined. And
but if he could put the discipline together and he could drop down healthfully, then it's doable. But I like him at 85.
But what changed? Like why would he be able to do it now? Especially since he's been walking around heavier.
Yeah,
he knows his body best. He's going to make the right decision for himself.
To go back down to 170.
He did? Okay,
yeah,
so I wasn't aware that he's definitely planning on going back.
But
who's this for?
Let's talk you.
Let's the sponsor, or is this just random?
Just random.
How do you say this?
Let's talk about Colby Covington, by the way. So,
LaCroix.
What are your thoughts about Colby Covington?
Well, I got a lot of friends, like really good friends that are Brazilian. My coach is a Brazilian. A lot of great guys around me. Just trained at Cabrina's yesterday. Like I think it was a little over the top, but I understand. I did fight in Brazil twice, and like they're spitting snake venom at you. So I could see why he would be that way, and also he's just being a heel. He's just going for it. It's like everyone's talking about him. You can't really blame him. I mean, I don't really condone what he said or agree with it, but it is what it is, and he's on everyone's tongue. So I can't really fault him for it either. I don't think it's like super malicious or anything. He took his own life into his own hands, like doing that and then trying to get out. I'm surprised he made it out of Brazil, to be honest. You need to try that in Colombia. You're gonna get mowed down.
Alan, your thoughts?
I don't care for him, man. I don't care for him. If he was here on the podcast, I'd have a conversation. I wouldn't I hate the guy, but I just don't care for him, man. I feel like, I don't know if it's like racist or it's just ignorance, but like the shit that he says, I'm not feeling it, man. To just call out the countries and call people trashy, and then like, what about the second time? He wasn't even in Brazil. He was in Australia, and then after he gets hit with the boomerang or whatever, he's like, "You guys are all filthy animals," and such, dropping homophobic slurs and this and that. I'm just like, man, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole. But as far as a fighter, he's a tough guy. Look, before all this stuff happened, he was the guy on the radar. He's a tough welterweight. He's a good wrestler. He's a strong guy. He has a good cardio gas tank. So you can't take any of that away from him. He's a guy that not a lot of people are like banging down the door to fight. Now that he's talking so much trash, a lot of more people are calling him out just because they don't like him. Yeah, but before that, nobody was because they knew
he was so quiet.
Colby Covington is a tough guy to fight. But aside from him being tough, I mean, he's not knocking people out. He's not really submitting people. A lot of his finishes, we got in this argument one time on Twitter, me and Colby, because I was saying like, when I was on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak, I was saying I'm finishing guys, I'm putting on exciting fights. No other welterweight's doing that right now. And then he started saying I got all these finishes, and I looked them up, and they were all like ref stoppage, TKO, just like kind of not boring fights. You know what I'm saying? A lot of his fights, Damian Maia fight, it was intriguing because of the matchup, but it wasn't an exciting fight. The fight before that, what was his fight before that? It was that when he fought the Asian guy.
Yeah, Don Kim.
That was one of the most boring fights in the history of the UFC. And a lot of his fights have played out like that. So he's beat 2 guys in the top 15. I think he's climbing the ladder. He's doing good things for himself in terms of who he's fighting. But is he the next guy to fight Tyron Woodley? Like, I don't think he deserves it. If he has one more big win, maybe so. But then also, is that the guy that you want to see fighting for the belt? Like, is that going to knock down the door in pay-per-view numbers?
He did stop a guy that you fought that was pretty good. Max.
Yeah, it was, but
Max
like
Griffin?
Alan said, it was a boring ass fight. Just take the guy and grind him out. I sent him a message. I was like, "This guy's a turtle. Just take him down and grind him out." And he did exactly that. So it wasn't a big surprise.
You
there.
sent Colby that message?
You fought Max Griffin?
Yeah.
That was a fight where he hurt you early and you were laughing at him.
Well, it's just like, it was just too easy to tap the guy out, so I was trying to stand with him. I got caught, man.
But when he rocked you in the beginning and you were smiling and laughing,
Why are you gonna bring that up?
No, I'm saying I honestly want to know. A lot of times people say, "Oh, he's smiling because he's really hurt." Or he's playing
That's
possum.
just my style when I fight. I'm always smiling usually,
Yeah, it's not always true. You know how they always say when you smile, it acknowledges it. Not always true. Sometimes you do get hit and you like try to smile to play it off. But sometimes like it just glances off the chin and you're just like, nah, fool, I didn't do shit. So like, I think Joe Rogan's the one that always says that. If you acknowledge it, then it hurt.
Yeah, also boxers say that. They say that in boxing. All right, so we're calling Amber Brown.
I don't know. I think when you think of John Dodson, the one guy that smiles the most in MMA, and he's always smiling. He's like, "You got me, okay, but hey, ain't nothing."
You can tell though when like John Dodson or Sam Alvey, when they stop smiling, you're like, oh, they know they're in a firefight now.
I guess it's the opposite with them, right?
Yeah.
So we're calling Amber Brown. Let's see if she picks up. For some reason my Skype's not working.
So Amber's training with my coach Chris Luttrell now in Albuquerque.
Give us some backstory on this.
All right, so Amber Brown they're fighting in Invicta December 8th.
Okay.
And Amber's just changed camp. She's been she was like stuck in with this gym called Fit down in Albuquerque for like her whole
She's on
career.
a 3-fight losing streak.
And then she changed gyms and she's now with Chris Luttrell. Chris Luttrell was the guy who introduced Jackson to Winklejohn back in the day. He was Jackson's first fighter.
He's a matchmaker.
He is, he was a cop. He's a cop. He's retiring soon. He's actually who cornered me many times when I was training down there. He's one of my favorite people in the world. He's like really fun. He also trains Claudio Gardella, moved down there and trains at that camp as well. And he's actually got a very similar style to my coach, Robert Follis. So they were the ones that cornered me my last fight in Mexico. And they were like, literally when I would spar and I would send my footage to Robert, he would say the same thing Chris told me. Like, it was like...
We're having issues with Skype,
Brown,
so we're going to have to do it this way.
She's...
Hello, Amber Brown.
105.
One over. One over.
Yes, you're on the MMA Roasted podcast. You're with me, Alan Jouban, Heather Jo Clark, Dave Mitchell. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. You got a big fight now. Have you met Heather before?
I met her once at the gym. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Did you kick her ass or no?
Yeah, she did.
No, we didn't get to train together, but
Shit.
it was just like there for the mouth guard thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so she wasn't actually doing anything. She was trying to sell you guys mouth guards.
Whatever, Adam. Amber, I hope to come down soon. Chris keeps calling me and like, come down, see the new gym. I was just telling everybody on the podcast about you changing over and training with Chris and how awesome he is and how I'm excited to see what you're gonna do.
I'm really liking it a lot over there. He's badass.
Yeah.
He's like a freaking ninja. So I really love.
He's
I
great.
feel like his style of training and what he does is like perfect for me.
Yeah, that's great. That's what he said. He's really proud of all your progress. He was just telling me like night and day from the day you walked in the gym and what you're doing now. It's been great to see. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see it.
Thank you. Me too. Yeah, it is night and day. It's like a totally different mentality and it's just totally different. So I'm excited to fight.
What's the different about it?
It's just everything on the ground, you know. I have evolved on the feet, you know, but more so everything on my wrestling and my jiu game is just different. I'm not nowhere near as comfortable as being on my back like I was before, you know. It's just like either get the hell up or advance position and beat them up, you know. So it's going to be awesome. And it's just like I'm learning a lot of little tricks and stuff on how to do things in positions that I already like. So just adding more to my toolbox, and it's awesome.
He's a dirty guy, like in the sense of like he uses every possible moment to take advantage and to, you know, like he's a cop. He's kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain it, but he's
he like makes you pay for anything you've ever been trained to do, pretty much. They're gonna react this way, so this is what you hit them with or what you do. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice. Now, Amber, you know you're a great fighter. You're strong as hell. You're just you're the bully. But we are on a 3-fight losing streak, so we got to win this fight. What's the difference? What are we gonna do to win this fight?
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be the old me. I'm not gonna give a hell about anything. I'm just gonna, you know, bully this girl. You know, I learned a lot of, like I said, little tricks and stuff before. I think I was just comfortable with like getting taken down and fighting off my back, and now it's not even an issue at all. You know, it's like get up, you can't stay on your back at all, you know, and getting out wrestled and held down, you know. So I think it's just going to be a lot different, and I don't think that this girl's going to be able to hold me down, you know. I've gotten a lot stronger also, so, you know, I'm ready. I'm out for blood. I'm ready to get out there and get back on winning streak. You know, 3 losses in a row is rough, you know, so. But I passed that, you know, I'm ready to get back out there and, you know, show them the bully.
Nice. And how's the family doing?
Doing great, you know. My daughter's just training. You know, we opened our own gym out, because I don't live in Albuquerque where I train. I live about 40 miles east in the mountains. So I opened my own little boxing gym. And I do a lot of my training out here with my husband, so he helps me out a lot. He's one of my main coaches as well. So we're all doing really good, just focusing on our business and my career, you know, and just having fun with everything. So
nice.
That's awesome.
Well, we are going to call Tessa right now, your opponent, because this is how we do it here. Tessa, you here?
cool, yeah.
Hold on.
Let's do it.
Tessa. Okay, hold on. Here we go. It is on. Tessa? Can you hear her? Tessa. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Tessa. Hello?
How's it going?
Good. How you doing? We got you. We have Amber Brown. We have Alan Jouban, David Mitchell, Heather Jo Clark here. This is the first ever Invicta press conference of the year. Amber Brown is talking a lot of shit about you, by the way. She's saying that she says that you're ugly and that all these horrible. No, I'm kidding. She's not saying
Weak.
that. But so how are you doing, Tessa?
I'm great. I do have to commend you on putting this together because I was like, oh, okay, I'll do another interview. And then bam, your opponent's going to be on there too. So great job to you.
No problem. No problem.
This is the first for me
So where are you training out of, Tessa?
I am training out of Austin, Texas, out of an academy that I run with my husband called Austin Kickboxing Academy.
What?
As well as Gracie, who might to Austin.
What is going on?
Yeah, well, Alan,
It's
what are you saying?
I mean, well, both women are training with their husbands out of separate. I think
Out
we
of their
should just
own gyms.
a tag team fight
Yeah,
here
tag
in the
team.
making.
This is ridiculous. Now, Tessa, you're from Guam, right?
Correct.
Yes, and now you were killing girls in Guam. You beat Paulina Grandados. You were on a roll, and then you took 3 years off. Why did you take 3 years off?
Let's see. That period of time, I had, I believe. Well, actually, I had a hard time getting fights after I fought Paulina. I don't know if it was like I had a lot of people turning down fights, and I wasn't signed to Invicta yet. So it was hard to get fights at atomweight, locally, at least here in Texas. And then I had an injury, I had surgery, came back from that, and then I got signed with Invicta. But just to keep active, I went and I fought out in Guam, which was the first time I competed, in front of my family. So that was amazing, and just to be able to go there and be on island and train there, and then actually get to compete in front of my family and friends. So that was a great opportunity. And then finally got to debut in Invicta, the following or a few months later after that. So
Now, one of your fights, your first fight back in Invicta, you were winning the fight, and then that girl hit you with an elbow that was like I fell down. I was like, holy shit.
Adam, why do you keep bringing up this shit, dude? Come on, let's build them up right here.
You came back. You showed so much heart and still won that fight. Now, Amber, this girl's got a lot of heart. What are you going to do to break this girl?
I'm going to do whatever it takes, I'm going to go in there and fight my ass off from start to finish, so.
Ooh. Tessa,
Getting dicey.
would you like to respond to that?
yeah, well, I mean, I think that it's going to be a matter of both of us fighting from start to finish. So, maybe another fight of the night. My last two fights were fight of the night. So, I think it's going to be a great fight.
This is the most bullshit press. Come on, guys. We got to sell this fight. All right, so, okay.
Okay, how are you gonna win, Tessa? How are you gonna beat her? Like, is it gonna be you gonna submit her? You gonna knock her out? TKO? What? How's it going down?
I mean, the first thing that's going to happen, I mean, if it happens on the feet, that's great. I'm preparing for everything. I'm preparing.
Just call it. Just call it.
Which
Just call it. Let's just call it. It's more fun when you just call it, because I mean, in the end, we know as fighters, anything can happen. We could be like, well, if it's on the fight, if it's stand, I'm gonna knock her out. If it goes around, I'm gonna submit her. But let's just say, let's call it.
Do we see a clear advantage that you have in any one part in the striking area?
Good question. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, probably on the ground.
Ooh.
Okay.
If she wants to take me down, then that's great.
Whose man is that? All right.
That's my specialty, so that'd be great. Let's say armbar, round two.
All right.
Amber,
Good.
you get armbar round 2. Amber, are you gonna take this?
No, it's funny. You guys are funny. Just I have that most respect for you for one. I just want to say that. I'm honestly in this fight, but I see this fight going to the ground too. There's no question about that. But I'm not getting submitted. As long as I'm on top of my game, I can beat any of these girls in this atomweight division. So I'm not giving up my arm. I got 2 armbar losses. I know every girl out there thinks that they can go armbar me now. That's not going to happen again. I'm not going to get submitted at all. I'm going to end up on top, and I'm going to either get my own submission or a TKO.
Well, Amber, did those 2 previous armbars? How did those start? Were you on the bottom or top when you got on board?
Bottom spider web.
With Yoder, I was on bottom, and even with Ayaka, I don't even freaking remember. But like I said, since I've changed gyms, learned a whole lot. I don't just give up my arm like I used to. There's a lot of different things. So I'm not going to be the same fighter as you last saw in March.
What's the mindset right now? If you would end up on the ground on bottom, is the mindset to work jiu-jitsu or offense from the bottom, or are you just trying to get back to the feet?
It's either get up or get get
Top position.
on top. Either
Yeah, look
get
for the
on
sweep.
top or get back up. I'm not staying on my back at all.
Mm-hmm.
Tessa, are you going to take this? She's going to get on top of you. I mean, come on. What? This is you're getting killed right now in this press conference. Fight back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm welcome on the ground. Whatever she wants to do, she wants to get to the ground. She wants to try to be on top. I wish her good luck there. So,
Ooh,
for
good luck.
If I'm in a bad position, I'm going to work to get out of that. Work to submit her from every position. So.
All right, let's go. Okay, who has it? All right, now okay. All right, let's say who's better? Who has better game? All right, so Amber, let's say you got divorced from your husband, and Alan walked by, and you liked Alan. What would your pickup line be?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into this with Tessa. I have respect for Tessa. I know you guys are trying to sell the fight and stuff, and either way, people want to watch us fight, so we don't have to sit here and talk shit to each other. So
All right.
You guys.
I honestly didn't think they were going to give me Tessa right off the bat, so I want to thank Tessa for taking the fight. I know I already fought for a title and all that, but I am coming off at 3 losses, and personally, I think Tessa should have had Jin Yu or someone up there. I thought she would have probably had someone with a winning record right now, but it's cool. I'm glad we're fighting. It's going to be a good win for me as long as I can pull it off. And like I said, as long as I'm on top of my game and doing everything I need to do, I can beat anyone in this division. So.
That is a very interesting pickup line. So, Amber, listen, you're a role model. You're a great fighter. You come out to fight every single time. So, and Tessa, you seem like a very nice girl as well. I've only seen a couple of your fights, but you seem like you really got your shit together.
But there's nothing wrong with calling out how you're going to win a fight. My last fight, I thought I was going to knock the girl out, and I had the most respect for her. But when I get in that cage, it's a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you guys are right. We're just trying to make it messy and have fun with you guys. You guys are right for being classy. In all seriousness, though, which one of your husbands would win in a fight?
Yeah, right. That's a very good question. Tessa, you first.
What was the question? Sorry.
Would your husband beat up Amber's husband?
If I could beat up her husband.
No. Well, that too. All right.
I can't hear you.
All right. Who would win in a fight? Your husband or Tessa's husband? Or Amber's husband?
Oh, my goodness.
Or Amber's husband?
How much does your husband weigh?
I haven't even seen.
How big is your husband?
her husband's skills.
Is he 170?
What does your husband do?
Yeah, Alan's calling him out.
What does your husband do? Hello?
My husband?
Yeah.
He's a jiu-jitsu black belt.
Ooh.
Trained martial arts since he was young, and now we own a Muay Thai school, so we kind of specialize in everything. So.
Amber, what does your husband do?
He's a black belt too. Come on, be a
My
black belt.
husband's a boxing trainer. And
Oh, classic.
trained for 13 years. It doesn't matter.
Classic matchup. Classic.
Really
UFC 1 all over again.
even know her husband or who he is, so
Yeah.
I don't know if her
That's the big fight. That's the money fight.
My husband's not a fighter. He coaches people and he trains me and he just helps, and he's benefited me the most out of anyone has in my career. My other coaches that I used to have tried to push him out of the picture, and that's when I started kind of just getting real shittier with some of my game, like my boxing for one, and so he's stepped more into the picture, and I train with him mostly all the time now.
All right. So
You have to commend these guys because they live with us and have to put up with all of that, and it's not easy.
that's a good point. Although I gotta say, Guam has great strip clubs. I've been to 6 of them, and when I was
That
there,
was so on topic.
yeah, I went to the G Spot. Have you ever been there? Whoa!
You got him talking dirty.
All right,
now.
listen, people. This has been a very heated press conference. Thank you both for coming
Way to
on.
end it, Adam.
Amber,
Way to
you're talking
end
a lot of shit. I hope you could back it up. I can't wait for this fight, December 8th, right?
Yes.
Yes, December 8th on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah. Good luck to both
nice.
you girls.
Good luck, ladies.
May the better
Bye.
lady win that
you.
day.
Thank you.
Take care.
Take care, y'all.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Well, that was.
I want to see that fight, but I want to see the fight with the husbands more.
I'm totally gonna be looking into the corners in between rounds now. Comparing.
I think we accomplished a lot there. So, anyway,
Yeah.
let's talk about the fights over the weekend that happened. First of all, Verdum. Verdum is, you know what? The heavyweight division is kind of like in my opinion, the female division in 115 and maybe even 135, where the top 3 are just that much better than everyone else. It seems like Verdum against, these number 7 guy, he just looks like a different class. But then he goes up against Stipe, he beat Kane, but against some of those Ngannou and it's a different guy. But then when he goes up against some of these other guys, it's like almost like it's a sparring partner.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, Verdum is just like, the heavyweight class is the one class that, I think it's the oldest division in UFC. And in general, and I'm always thinking about that, like, why can the heavyweights fight for so much longer? I mean, Verdum is 40 years old or something. You look at guys even, it's like the bigger the weight class, the older the guys are. Look at 205, DC's like 38, 39 years old. Anderson Silva, he even when he was in his prime, or somewhat his prime, when he was a champion, he was like 37, 38 as well. And these guys like Verdum, though, they've been around so long, they're so well-rounded. They don't have to be quite as athletic because they have the one-punch power, or
they have the wisdom, like Arlovsky versus the diaper boy. I mean, it was just...
It's not quite as much about speed like it is in the lighter weight classes. But Verdum, man, he showed how good he is, man. I mean, for such a ground specialist. And we've known he's been an improved striker for quite a while now. But to do it against a young guy who's 20 years younger than him for 5 rounds, I think it definitely
now, Rory
leads them in the right
McDonald
direction.
wants to join the Bellator heavyweight tournament. He's seriously asking. Do you think he has a shot?
No.
David?
I don't like it. I fought heavyweight once. That's one too many times. So.
But at the same time, you look at
you're a 200-pound guy. In grappling, sure, but.
But they're letting Bader and they're letting Chael Sonnen fought at 185.
Yeah.
And he's
if it makes money, it
more
makes
like
sense. Hey, let him in then.
Bellator is a bit of a circus in those kind of.
But shouldn't they? If they're a
realms.
circus, shouldn't they let Rory do it?
But he's just, he's not even. Chael and Rory probably have a 20-pound. You know how it is though. Like sometimes if you're like, say my weight class 170, I could go with guys that are 55 or 45, and I can go with guys at 85 or 205. And so it seems, but a 55er might not be able to go with a 205er. It's that 20-pound difference that sometimes makes a big difference.
I 1,000% agree. But then I thought, well, Rory and GSP had a great fight. GSP just beat Bisping.
Mm-hmm.
Bisping fought Chael. It was a pretty even fight. Chael's now in the heavyweight
MMA
tournament.
math doesn't work.
Whoa.
Damn, you really thought about this.
I really thought about
Did you research, connecting the
And I was
dots?
like, maybe this guy actually has a shot.
No.
Put him in.
Put him in?
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the worst he can
Now,
happen?
are you officially retired from MMA?
No, I have not officially retired.
Oh, because you won your last 4 to 5.
Yeah. No, I won my last. Yeah, I guess I did. Yeah. No, I won the last 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. You
Yeah.
lost in the ACB.
I lost in the ACB. I was on a 3-fight win streak. I'm the FFC champion at 185 and the Tachi Palace champion at 185. So
Tachi Palace.
Yes.
I fought a lot for them right from the beginning, and the FFC has been pretty good to me. And they're gonna come out in Vegas in March, they said. So I'm gonna defend that belt.
Now, one of the guys you fought was homeless. That was a pretty.
I
good
didn't
fight.
know when I took the fight that the guy was going to be homeless, and that was going to be the story.
What was his name?
Matt Majors.
Matt Majors.
Oh my God! I thought you were gonna say another Matt.
Yeah, no,
I think it's Matt Horridge.
Now, you know who Matt Majors is?
Yes, from the show Tap Out.
Tap Out
Yes.
show, yeah.
Now,
Anger issues.
There was a lot of hype. Now, that fight, did you know what you were getting into?
I didn't know that he was homeless. I took a real long shower after. I mean, the guy's like, he was a real nice guy, but had a lot of problems.
Is he nice? I feel like he came across a little douchey on the show,
Yeah.
or not douchey, but I guess he just came across intense. Maybe is the right
didn't
word.
appreciate.
Little
People
intense.
hated him because I looked at the comments under that. People were like, so I'm like, who is this guy? And then I looked into him and I read that article that he was homeless. And then I'm like, man, but he is a good fighter. But right,
He was all right. I mean, he did go to
What?
3
Fight
rounds
homeless.
with Shemenko or something.
Yeah,
So he
yeah.
did a couple good fights, but he didn't have nothing for me.
yeah, no, you beat him pretty quick. You beat a lot of guys. I was like, I when I met you at the comedy show, I did a comedy show and Team Alpha Male was there. Now, were you like the heavyweight of Team Alpha Male when you were there? Like,
Well, Adam Corrigan, he's
Right.
like a 170 pounder. Donald Roberson. We got a few bigger guys. Mikhail Vanikov. But generally, yeah, the majority of the guys are a little lighter.
Yeah, got it. Now
I've been liking the alpha male jokes you were spitting out there.
always,
about the
man. I
little
had a
guys.
good time when I was there. I was fucking with all of them.
You
Yeah.
killed it.
I had a great time.
It was a good show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, let's talk about Rowdy Beck versus Jesse Jess. I know you and Beck are great friends, Heather. You guys are just creme de la creme. Were you happy that Jesse Jess won that fight?
Yeah, I am.
Did you see the fight going that way?
Yeah,
You thought she was going to win?
yeah. I
Why,
did.
why is that?
I just not impressed with Beck, and as much as like I beat her, so I should like build her up because that just make me look that much better.
She gave you a big black eye, though. She did that.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying.
wait,
Go on.
I'll give you a big black eye.
That's true.
No, I mean, yeah, but anybody can get hit
I
like
just
in a
fucking with you.
fucking
Can't take
fight.
it.
You know
Relax,
what?
okay?
These fighters.
My
So
last
sensitive.
win.
You won the fight.
I won the
you won,
fight.
You won the fight.
Is Jesse Jess her real name or is that like a nickname?
No, but now she's going by Jessica Clark. Jesse Jess is so much better than Jessica Clark.
Jesse Jess.
It's like a porn star name. Jesse Jess is a
I
fucking.
like it.
That's what
But now she's fighting Paige Van Zandt.
She is?
Yeah, that got signed today.
At 115 or 125?
Oh, I saw that. So that's the same girl who just fought?
Yeah.
Just, damn, she moves quickly.
Who do you think wins that fight? Heather.
Heather.
I think Jesse Jess is
Peach-
gonna win
Peach
it.
PVs?
I think so, just because she's
PVZ? Is
she's
that?
got this confidence that she's coming off this win with Beck, and it's gonna be. I think her last couple wins. She's actually had a last couple win, so she's coming off a few wins, and Paige is coming off a loss, and it's gonna be her first fight at 125. I don't think Paige should be fighting at 125. She's a small 115er. To me, I think. I mean, yeah, I can tell. I see that she's like lifting a lot and stuff like that, but I think it's gonna be too much for her to handle. I mean, Jesse just didn't even make weight at 125.
But you train with Jess Jess, right?
No,
Isn't she at Drysdale or at
Syndicate.
It's at Syndicate. Ah, got it. I like it. She was my cat sitter. She was when I was out of town. She's
Who?
like Jesse Jess.
Jesse Jess was your cat sitter?
Yeah, babe. I was she's like, hey, I'm coming to LA. Can I stay at I needed a cat sitter. Can I stay at your place for a couple days with this girl who was also Invicta? So I said, who I guess I don't know. So then I was like, sure, no problem.
You already talked about
and
it
then
on the podcast, so.
and then I left. I came back and there was dog shit all over my guest room. They were not very good dog and cat sitters. But my pets did like them. My pets did like them.
She's going to get knocked out. She's going
what?
to get knocked out.
Really?
Paige's going to knock her out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, she's a Team Alpha Male.
No, she's not
Like,
there
where is this
anymore,
coming
though.
from?
Oh, you really think that?
Yeah. That's my pick.
Why is that?
She got surprising hands. Like, I mean, she's like that.
She's
the
never
kick
knocked
they
anybody
can't-
out with any hands.
She kicked the chick in the head,
That's
knocked
a
her
kick.
right out.
That is not a punch. That's not a punch.
All right, David.
Ooh.
Oh,
I'm just saying, I
Salty.
like Paige.
Somebody's
no,
salty.
No.
Getting a little
I
heated.
am not. I like Paige as a person. She's
I think that'd be
great.
I think a good nickname for you
She's a
now.
cool
Salty.
person.
Instead of Heather Jo Hurricane
Oh.
Heather, it's Salty Heather Jo Clark.
You want? Maybe we should have a fight.
Yeah. No.
So, no, I'm just saying.
Shade
Come on,
saw.
you guys. Paige she doesn't have power in her hands. I'm just saying.
But okay, now you've seen Paige train before.
I trained Paige, yeah.
You actually trained her.
Yeah.
Okay, and you held.
I trained her. No, I trained her for the fights that she won.
And you held mitts for her, right?
No.
Actually, no. My buddy Owen Carr held mitts with her, and I was just helping her with the jiu-jitsu.
But she's got lots of pop in her hands.
She's a phenomenal athlete. I mean, she was a dancer.
She's
I
maybe
just
like
we'll
the
see.
best hands you've ever seen, or
I don't know about that, but I mean, you got Cody
You've seen me.
Garbrandt and
You've seen my
TJ
hands.
Dillashaw in the room. It's like,
Oh right. You do have pop. I always told you that you had more power than you believe in.
Yeah,
Most
it's
girls,
true.
people, they believe they have too much power. You actually hurt people when you throw punches, but
Yeah.
you think too much and you start like
true.
having
That's changing though.
OCD attacks in the octagon and start washing your hands.
Yeah, you're right. And then like
washing
yeah.
your hands.
It's true. I get emotional when I don't knock
It's-
people out.
It's
Yeah.
okay though.
It's okay. It's
We're gonna
gonna
make a
happen.
comeback.
We're gonna make a comeback.
Heather Jo Clark Part 2.
Yes.
Yes. The
2.0.
2.0.
The Cougar years. Okay, so anyway.
You should just go with Salt Mine and just
Cougar.
First of all, I don't have any kids, so I'm not a cougar. And
Cougars don't have kids.
Puma, maybe.
Puma, mountain lion. Okay, so I'll tell you who
lion.
looked great as well. Will Brooks, Nick Lentz. Let's talk about that guy. for
Oh,
a
yeah. I
second.
forgot about that fight.
Now, Will Brooks looked like a world beater in Bellator because he was a world beater. He beat Michael Chandler twice, and I started thinking about this, and he's 1-3 in the UFC, and I just think that and I'm not downplaying how good he is. But certain guys just match up really good against other people. Let's talk about Matt Hughes and Dennis Hallman, right? Hallman beat Hughes 3 times, right? If you look in the history of who's going to be ranked higher in the top 100, it's always going to be Matt Hughes over Dennis Hallman. Probably Hughes top 10, Hallman maybe bottom 100 of all time. Where would you rank Dennis Hallman of all time?
Where would I rank him?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's got a ton of fights and he beat Matt Hughes, but I mean, I wouldn't
Right?
rank him.
His balls fell out, right?
His balls fell out, so you got to give him a couple points there.
I'll rank him at 99.
99,
There you go.
just because of the balls.
Fair enough, right?
But I just think that maybe with Will Brooks and Chandler, he just matched up great against him. It just was a guy that he had his number.
He's good, man. I mean, Will Brooks is good. I mean, he's a top level guy, but it just showed that the top level in Bellator wasn't quite what it was stacking up to be in comparison to the top level in the UFC. And he was winning that fight against what was it? Who did he fight?
Nick Lentz.
Lentz, but he just made a kind of a dumb move. Like Lentz is known for his guillotine. I think they trained together before, right? So I mean, he should have very well known that's his one move, and he gave him his neck. I was kind of shocked when he gave it to him, and I'm watching Lynch just like, try to close that guard and sink it in. And yeah, man, Lynch has got I remember he put a guillotine on me years back. This is like back when Legends first opened or something. I was surprised how good his guillotine was, and so I've been watching him for a while with that thing. But I think Brooks just tapped. I think Brooks just kind of he's fighting a little bit better competition, A, but then B, it's just that he's kind of putting himself in bad moves, kind of making the wrong decisions in some fights.
Now, Lentz called out anybody at ATT. He says,
yeah, that was ballsy.
Now, Dustin Poirier's at ATT.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins that fight?
I got to go with my Lafayette native brother, Poirier. Poirier's good, man.
Yeah,
He's good at
I'm
everything.
gonna agree with that one.
Yeah, I would love to see it
guy's no
though.
joke.
I would love to see it. I mean, the bad blood.
I didn't see any of the fights on Saturday night, but just going from behind that, I was competing, so I didn't see any of the fights. But
What did you compete in?
it was called Dragon House MMA, and I had a super fight with a third-degree black belt from Half Gracie.
In jiu-jitsu or?
Just straight jiu-jitsu.
And
But it was kind of like edgy, like we didn't know it, maybe we'll just start fighting, Because it was 8 minutes, and then there was no.
Wait, who
no
did you go
overtime.
against?
Diego Herzog,
Yeah. Okay.
Bellator fighter, and then so maybe we'll make that rematch happen in Bellator.
And who won?
It was a draw. We went 8 minutes. I had him in a couple leg locks, and he was trying to pass my guard, and it was all right.
I saw another draw that you had against Kyle Griffin.
I had a draw with Kyle Griffin. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was a great fight.
That was a good one.
That's one. If you guys watch one of my matches, go watch that one. That was in.
Now, are you
intense.
now? How's the money in competitive grappling?
What money?
Is there any money in it?
There is, but you just gotta be one of those big names. I'm sure Dylan Dennis and Jake Shields and guys like
Small
that are
percentage.
getting paid, But for me, it's like I'm just trying to break in. Like the last Submission Underground, you're on the undercard. You just show up and you fight. It costs you money.
Really?
Have you competed in EBI or anything like that?
I haven't got EBI yet. That's gonna happen. I think the next time they do 85, I want to get in there. So
Yeah,
Now-
you should jump in there.
Now, Phil Baroni said that he really won his fight against
AJ Azam?
Yeah.
he kicked the crap out of him for whatever it was, 8 minutes, and then after the fight was over, he didn't know anything about the EBI rules. Had no clue. He was like, "What do you mean?" And so he's trying to give up the referee position like it was a wrestling match.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, you have to give up your back." And he's like, "What?" And then
Wait, who? What are we talking about?
Phil Baroni.
Phil Baroni had a super fight with AJ Agazam as like co-main event in the last Submission Underground.
Oh,
And they had a war, and he was kicking AJ's ass, but then he got submitted in the overtime.
But he didn't know the
Baroni
rules.
did.
He didn't know the rules. He should have just walked out after he beat him up.
You have to start in like a submission, like you have to give the guy your arm or your neck and
right, like EBI rules.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
EBI
And
rules.
so he got
He lost the match.
submitted.
in overtime. But in his defense, he thought that it was like a grappling. He didn't know the rules.
Gotcha.
Shouldn't they explain people the
But I mean,
rules?
anytime you get submitted, right?
Oh,
Like
no.
you
Yeah, but
lose.
but
Before
you
you
should
sign
just
up
have to
for a
start in
tournament.
that position, though.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a lot of people
the
don't
rules?
like the EBI rules, but I think they're great. I
Shouldn't
just
you
think
know
it's
the rules
cool.
before you go into a competition?
You should. That's his own fault for not learning the rules and like maybe watching one other show.
I mean, I'd much rather see two guys start in EBI rules in a position where we could hopefully get closer to a finish rather than two guys that are just stalling each other and then let's say, okay, I'm going to give an advance, just make
win
up
on
a
one advantage or something.
Yeah, it doesn't
I
make
like
sense.
EBI rules. I mean,
Yeah.
I had that draw on Saturday night. It's okay, but it's just no one loves a draw. It's just
Yeah,
winning,
want to see somebody
want to see
win.
a finish, or at least a clear winner. Right?
Well, speaking of which, we're going to call your next opponent right now.
Yeah.
Anthony Smith. Anthony Lionheart Smith, who you are
The true Lionheart.
the true Lionheart. He's very upset about Diego Sanchez stealing his name. And
Wait, wasn't Diego Sanchez the nightmare and then the dream?
yeah, that's
That
why he
was
got very.
Lionheart?
That was
Yeah.
Lionheart. And
Well, everybody stole it from Jean-Claude Van Damme. So
Well, according to Anthony, he was the original Lionheart, and he was very
Before
upset about this. Yeah, but even before Van Damme, I think he was very upset about that.
didn't Anthony just beat
Hector Lombard.
Hector? Oh yeah.
With
So-
a submission?
I know he knocked him out.
Oh, that's right.
Knocked out Hector Lombard.
Hector got like real tired and started
Yeah,
fading and.
I remember that.
Hello, is this Anthony Smith?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good, how are you? You're on the MMA Roasted podcast. It's me, Alan Jouban, Heather Jo
up,
Clark, and your future opponent, David Mitchell, who you're going up against in submission grappling. How's it going, Anthony?
It's going good, man. Just hanging out.
Congrats on your recent win over Hector Lombard. That was very impressive.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Look, appreciate that.
I mean, you felt very disrespected in that fight because Hector did not know your name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it was something like that, man. He did a bunch of interviews talking about how I was a nobody and that nobody knew my name, and I don't know, it's kind of pissed me off. So I wanted to remind him, I guess.
Oh, I remember now. What's up, man? It's Alan. This is the fight. I remember you beating him, and you were like in between rounds, like calling at him. You know my name now, or something like that. You guys had a little beef in between.
Yeah, because he was over there, supposed to be looking all tired.
Yeah, man. He always seems to fade, man. But that was a good win for you, man. Like it was a good fight, a good name to a good fight to build your name, and a good name, a good feather in your cap with Hector.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was definitely the biggest name on my record so far. So it was definitely a good one to get. I kind of, I wasn't the vintage Hector, the one that on like a 25 win streak or something, but nonetheless, it's definitely a good name.
Now, this is your 8th fight in a row where you went down in the second round and you come back in the third and just knock people out.
Wait, what'd you say? Is 8th fight in a row that happened?
Every single fight, Anthony
What the
starts
fuck?
off, loses like 10-4 in the first 2 rounds, and then just knocks the dude out.
That's crazy.
Is that the game plan or what?
No, man, it's not. I wish I could sound like a genius than it was, but I don't know. I'm just a slow starter. I think sometimes I'm just too comfortable, and it takes me a while to get going. I don't know. I don't have that like adrenaline rush right when the fight starts or right before. Like I'm not in the back super nervous and pumped up, So it takes me a while to actually get warmed up. Like I don't even feel like I'm actually warmed up until the second round starts. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. I don't have any anxiety when I'm in there fighting. So I think the lack of anxiety that actually does me a disservice.
So you don't even wake up till the second round, but you say you're going to submit me in the regulation. There's only one round.
Oh, it's getting heated.
We're not talking about fighting.
We're talking about grappling right now.
If we were fighting, I think I could beat you without being warmed up.
Whoa!
Finally, some good trash talk. We've had some lame trash talk thus far on the show. Finally, it's getting good.
So all right. So now all right. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, you have you're going grappling in submission grappling. What's the date?
It's December 3rd, Sunday, December 3rd.
Sunday, December 3rd. So it's next week. Okay, against David Mitchell. David's a black belt. He's a very, very good grappler. What's your grappling background, Anthony?
I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 10 years. I've been under Rodrigo Baji the whole time. Rodrigo's the highest ranking black belt, Henzo black belt in the States, I believe.
Wow.
I've been with him and Scott Morton the entire time. And I haven't competed a whole lot competitively in jiu-jitsu just because I've been fighting this whole time. It's kind of, you don't want to have kind of your foot half out the door when you're trying to do either. So, obviously, I've competed in MMA. That's kind of been my path. That's how I make my money. So, as far as competitive jiu-jitsu, it hasn't been a whole lot. But, I know that I hear that he's tough, and I'm excited for it for sure. But I guess I'm kind of curious where all the trash talk comes from, and him being a fucking dick. But it is what it is, I guess.
Trash talk? Being a dick? You're the one who said you're going to eat steaks and drink beer and beat me in regulation. I haven't been tapped since 2005, bro.
Whoa.
Damn. For real?
So
right.
it's really funny
That's
that
good.
you and your fucking homies can look at my record and say I've been submitted 5 times. Number one of those isn't even correct. 3 of them are fucking world champions, and one of them was in 2008. So I don't understand. Like, where you think that fucking asshole's coming from? Like, all I said with the whole weight thing, and she said, do you want to cut weight? And I said, fuck no. She said, what are you going to come in at? I said, fucking 215, full of steak and beer. That's just fucking how I do it. That's not a fucking lie. It's not me. It's just how I fucking, that's how I do it. It's 100% the truth.
The submissions you're referring to, you speaking of from MMA fights?
That's what you guys are talking about, that I've been submitted 5 times or some bullshit like that.
David, is that what you and your boys were saying?
Well, my manager sent me a message and he showed me all the subs that Anthony had gotten on his professional MMA record on Wikipedia or whatever, and I thought it was pretty funny. So I just went ahead and posted it and said my manager was a troll, Matt Freeman. When
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we got to troll a little, man. That last interview was boring. No,
no. This.
I mean,
is
it was
good.
all right, but
I mean,
we're just talking a little bit of smack.
Anthony, David was a UFC vet. He's beaten a lot of guys. He beat Bobby Green by heel hook. He tapped Dave Huckabee in a rear naked choke. A lot of good guys. Anthony, you are known for knocking fuckers out with elbows. Are you giving him? I mean, are you saying maybe this guy has a little bit of advantage on the ground, but does it matter because you've been training at the highest level?
Not at all. I don't think he has an advantage at all. Just because you haven't seen me compete in competitive jiu-jitsu doesn't mean that I'm not capable. I mean, it's pretty easy. You can ask around all over fucking California. Everybody knows where my skill set's at. I've trained all over the place. Just because I don't do it in EBI or in SAG or the ADCC or whatever, I just don't have the opportunity because I'm too busy with my fight career. But it doesn't mean that I don't have the skills or the abilities. And I think that's where my anger comes from with him trash talking. Just because I don't compete as much as he does doesn't mean that he's any fucking better than me. And I'm not one of these guys that you can just fucking trash talk and be a fucking asshole to on the internet, and then we're just gonna shake hands afterwards, because that's not the fucking case. It's not how I roll. It's not how I was fucking raised. I'm not one of these dudes, you see all in the fucking media who want to hype shit up. If there's fucking hype in anything that I'm doing, it's fucking real.
David?
I'm just trying to hype a fight, man. I think I got a huge advantage over you. I watched all your fights. You hold the guard. You don't really attack from there. I'm really seeing nothing on top. You basically just get taken down. You do a good job. You're a good MMA fighter. But when it comes to grappling, submission only, I don't think you got a chance, man. I don't get tapped. You think you're going to tap me in regulation? I just don't see that happening. So I take that as insult. I'm a little bit angry, too.
What is the sub overtime rules? Is there overtime or is it just... It does go to EBI rules. So if there's no winner after 8 minutes or whatever the time is, then he goes to what, a rear naked choke or armbar position?
You get the spider web or the back, yeah.
Gotcha. Anthony, do you have a preference? You stronger at taking the back or the arm? Anthony, you heard?
Anthony,
that was me?
yeah.
Do you have a preference, like back or arm?
I mean, preferably, I'd rather take back.
Back.
I got super long legs, so it's kind of hard for me to close that distance and really keep the pressure and keep everything tight
On the arm.
from that arm bar.
Yeah.
Spider position. It's just tough for me to hold that. And if I'm not, I don't know. It's just easier to take the back. It's easier to body triangle or get a real tight backpacker. That's just more of my style.
Well, for MMA, yeah, I mean, if you're getting that spiderweb position, it's like you might as well just mount and finish the guy, or just beat the shit out of him until he opens, gives you his arm. So it's like
we're in
work that position.
MMA fighters are in the back position
Way
more
more
than the arm for sure. Yeah.
Now, David, who are some of the guys you beat grappling?
I beat a bunch of guys, and I won the IBJJF No-Gi Worlds at brown belt. I compete this year at black belt. I had a draw with Kyle Griffin where I pretty much smashed him, and I beat a couple of Kyotera brown belts, and I just pretty much beat. I just haven't got tapped, so it's like someone says, "Oh, I'm just going to tap you in regulation." I'm like,
You haven't been tapped in competition since
I haven't been tapped in
2005?
competition since 2005 in MMA
Pretty cool.
fights or in
Pretty
jiu-jitsu.
good.
I mean, it's not like it's not possible. Like anybody could tap anybody any given day, and I think me and Anthony, it's an exciting fight. I'm just trying to big up the fight a little bit, and I think he is too. Submission Underground, we quoted what he said about eating steak and drinking beer, and they put it on the website. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna say a couple little things, and I'm not like, I mean, I could be like saying a lot more, but let's let, obviously we want to talk shit because we want to pump up the fight, but then we got to let our grappling do the talking as well. And I think my grappling's at the highest level, and I just can't wait, man. I'm excited.
Now, Anthony.
Well, I think there's a big difference in saying that you think that you have the advantage in the jiu-jitsu. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with you saying where you think you're good and where you think you're better than me. That's not the issue. It's the fucking Instagram trolling that pisses me off. And that quote wasn't even public. That was in a fucking text message to Chael talking about weight. That had nothing to do. I didn't fucking post that online. That wasn't me. That was in a text message talking about the weight. So I my bad, I guess, for fucking saying I'll tap you privately to a
Nah, dude, that's good, man. I want you to talk a little bit.
Put that out there, so.
Well, you should have told them that it was private or whatever.
Negative to say about anybody, it's the same shit I say to their face. I'm not going to shake their hand afterwards. So I hope that you don't think that this is just going to be all fucking cool after we grapple.
Wow. Things are heating up. Now, this whole card is actually really good, by the way. It's Jake Shields versus Gilbert Burns. Tim Sylvia is on this card versus Fabiano Scherner. What weight is Tim Sylvia fighting at? Or grappling at? I don't know.
3,000 pounds.
AJ is back. Agazarm against Nathan Orchard. Anthony Smith versus David Mitchell. And Wagner Rocha versus Jesse Taylor. So this is a good one.
I think this card is stacked. I think the jiu-jitsu scene is just on fire. You got Jesse Taylor bringing guys like that in there. It's just exciting. Anthony Smith. It's hard for me to even understand why he would take this fight when he's on 3-fight win streak. I don't know if you're having a hard time making 185, and that's why you want to fight now at 215. But whatever it is, I'll come in whatever I weigh. You'll weigh whatever you weigh. I kind of like that. It's like we don't gotta cut a bunch of weight and have our eyes looked at and have a bunch of commissioners up our nuts, on our ass and shit, and we can just go and fight. I love it.
Are you gonna be juicing for this fight?
Oh, I'm juiced out of my mind. No, I'm getting that shit's not for me.
No, got it. Now, Anthony, are you having a tough time making 185?
For sure. 185 is getting really, really tough, man. I think that's at this point the way that the media and the UFC is. I don't think it's too big of a secret. I don't have to hide it too much anymore. But sometimes it depends on how often I fight. But if I have too long in between fights, man, I'll get a 70, 225, 230. I probably won't be 215. I imagine I'll probably be 210. Kind of depends on how Thanksgiving goes, I suppose. But I think that no matter what, 205 is definitely in the horizon. But I'm having a hard time bailing on 85. While I'm kind of on this streak. So I'm gonna ride it until the wheels fall off.
No. Have you missed weight at all since you've been in UFC?
No, not at all.
Nice.
Now I know Anthony's a good.
I've come close. I've come close to running out of time.
Oh, yeah, that extra hour.
Twice, but I think it's all a process, man. As I get older, I think that I just have to adjust to how my body's working. When I was wrestling, even in high school, I was wrestling 4 pounds heavier than I'm fighting now, and that was 11 years ago. So I mean, I'm just as I'm getting older, it's just getting my body's changing, and I think with each weight cut, it changes a lot of your body makeup. So the UFC is doing a good job of trying to help me figure that shit out. So
now, David, back in the day,
we can keep riding it.
Now, David, you're known in Southern California as a ladies' man. You've hooked up with a lot of hot chicks, but Anthony's a good-looking guy too. Who do you think has gotten more puss in their life, you or Anthony?
I don't know. I think he's married and whatever, so I'd say me.
You, Anthony, you hear that? He said that you can't get laid at all, and that you're terrible. I mean,
I've been in the same relationship for like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So he probably wins that one.
All right, so he wins in that.
But what happened before that relationship?
Yeah, what about before that? Were you a ladies' man back then?
Smash and grab.
Back when you were 12. All right.
Yeah, back when I was 12.
So, who do you think's better looking, David? You or Anthony?
Oh, that's me. He's ugly, man.
Oh, okay. So Anthony,
cornbread.
He says that you're cornbread and that
cornbread
and that you're ugly. Are you gonna take this?
I can't really argue that.
All right.
I can't really argue that one.
All right.
You're a hell of a fighter, though, Anthony. I will not take that away from you. I watched all your fights, and
that's for sure.
Yes,
that's a fact.
All right. Who do you think who's a better athlete? You or Anthony? David?
He's bigger. He's stronger. He's younger. He's a better athlete, but he don't know nothing about jiu-jitsu.
Oh wow! But now, wow! But Anthony, what belt are you?
Do what?
What belt are you?
4-stripe brown belt.
All right. So if he beats you, and a brown belt beats a black belt, that's kind of isn't that kind of embarrassing for you and your fellow black belts?
Be a lot of black belts at purple belts.
It happens a lot though in high competition.
It happens. It actually happens a lot.
Yeah.
it's not how much.
I'm probably going to be held up at a 4-stripe brown belt for a long time until we keep competing in IBJJF tournaments. It's just kind of how Rodrigo is. You know, he's not going to just give it out just because you're good at jiu-jitsu. You got to kind of earn it. So I've actually been a brown belt for 4 years.
This match is no gi, correct? Am I totally off? Yeah, it's no gi. What's your 2 top percentages, Anthony? Highest percentage finishes. What are your 2 best highest percentage moves finishes?
My triangle for sure. I probably hit that more than I probably hit anything else. But here in the last couple of years, I've tried to really focus on staying off my back. So I got pretty nasty chokes. You know, my Dars to guillotine to you know, just the whole front choke series is pretty nasty. I got long arms.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of a natural progression for me.
David, are you worried about his arms?
I seen that Kimura trap too. That looked pretty nice.
I want to hear
Against your
I want to
boy.
hear David's.
Yeah, what are your top 2 finishes?
Oh shit, I can't say that, man.
He
Come
just
on.
said it. Come on.
I gotta look it up.
He's an idiot
I just
from
don't feel
Iowa.
like
or
Googling this shit right
He's
now.
an idiot from there. Come on, tell us.
I like a lot of stuff from the guard. I got a lot of good moves from there.
Oh, all right.
Are you gonna make me look up your last 5 submission matches?
Is he really going to pretend to go to leg lock? Is that what he's doing right now?
You don't know what a leg lock is? You don't know what a leg lock
A
is?
leg lock? What's that?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, do you play the leg lock game?
Yeah, I'm just gonna-
Are you a leg lock player, gamer?
Yeah, I like leg locks. Okay, you want it?
Yeah.
I'm down.
He just
I want
told you
the
what he's
real.
good at, and then you could just he knows what you're good at, and then he's just gonna see if you can still get it anyway.
I wanna know the real answer. What are they? What is your go-to? It doesn't mean you have to necessarily do it on him.
Okay, I like heel hooks.
Heel hooks and
I like heel hooks.
and heel hooks.
And I like the triangle too, man. I've won a lot of fights with triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle and the armbar at the same time. You know when
like
you're just
him.
choking the guy and you're breaking his arm?
Yes.
Kind of like the.
it happens to me every day.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorites.
Were you really not going to say that heel hooks were one of your favorite submissions until you already knew that I knew you were a leg locker?
Wow.
He said it.
Oh, this guy's did research on you. He's
Good
done
job,
research.
man. I'm glad you're looking at me.
I know you think that I'm just coming in out of shape, not prepared, and just thinking I'm just going to ride in because I'm good at the fighter. That is not the case, my friend.
Now, Heather, you've seen both their penises.
I'm gonna have to watch this
Who has
fight.
the bigger?
What?
Who has the bigger penis? You've seen both their. You haven't seen both their penises?
No, Adam, I haven't. Have you?
No.
Trying to get this guy divorced or what, man? Come on, relax.
Yeah, see,
I've seen it. I've seen
I knew
Anthony.
it.
I thought Anthony was half black. You look like you could be mixed. You know that, right? You do. People tell you that? No.
What is it?
Hello.
Well,
Oh, you
He
are
said he
mixed.
is.
What are you mixed with? What are you?
I'm half black and half white.
There you go.
Oh.
Adam, didn't you see his?
I didn't know he was half black.
You said-
Did you know that? From the
Yeah.
waist down?
Oh,
Exactly.
come on. No, are you really half black?
Come on, man.
Are you really half black?
No, he's just gonna say
Oh.
that and make it up.
Who's black? Your dad or your mom?
My dad.
Oh, nice.
Would it have made a
You know what
difference?
happens when you go black, right?
Yeah, you're a single mom. So now when you now where did is your dad the only black guy in Omaha? Like how did that happen?
No, my mom's a single mom. I don't even know what my dad is.
Oh, okay, all right. Now we get the anger. Got it. All right, listen. This is gonna
So
be
your joke just totally.
Yeah, my
like,
joke worked.
Like,
No, listen. This is gonna be a good match. I'm excited.
I'm gonna watch it now. I wasn't even aware of this, and now I'm totally gonna watch it.
Can Tim Sylvia fit in that ring? By the way, I mean he's got to be at least 600 pounds. Tim Sylvia at this point.
I'm glad we get to go first because it'd be broken after.
Yeah, really. I mean, they're gonna have to. Now, can I watch this on pay-per-view? Where can I watch this?
Flow grappling.
Flow Grappling.
Low grab.
All right.
sir.
Are you excited, Andrew, for this?
Super excited.
Are you? Now, what if he starts throwing punches? Is there any chance of that happening?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened so far, but of course, both of us are MMA-based jiu-jitsu, so we're ready for that. It hasn't happened. I had a fight with Diego Hershog on Saturday night, and I kind of thought that one might turn into a fight, but I just think that everyone loves jiu-jitsu, and they want to see who's better. I want to
Okay.
see who's better. I'm sure Anthony wants to see who's better, and we're going to go in there. We're going to put on a hell of a show. I always put on a show. From what I've watched from Anthony, he always puts on a show. I got nothing but respect for the guy, but, when it comes down to it, I'm going to try to talk shit. I'm going to hype up the fight and try to poke fun where I can, so it's just my style, If you want to be mad or whatever, that's cool. It's just...
Now, is this in Oregon? It's taking place?
This is in Portland, Oregon, Sunday, December 3rd. It's to me, it's like the Olympics of jiu-jitsu. I mean, me and Anthony and 8 other guys get the chance to go win one of those win one of those titles for SUG. And
Are you getting paid for this?
A little bit.
A little bit. Anthony, you getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Good.
He signed with UFC. I'm sure he's getting a lot more money than me, but this is my chance to come up the ladder and show what I can do.
I can't wait for this.
Excited
Well,
for it.
Anthony, thanks for calling in. Keep up. Now, is everyone still ducking you in the UFC? I remember it was a hard time. People didn't want to fight you because they don't like the fact that you hit so hard, you elbow so hard, and that you're always in the fight.
That's gonna work.
Can you announce it?
No, it's a ways away still.
All right. Well, keep up the good work. Happy Thanksgiving, and take care, my friend.
Thanks a lot, man. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
All right. That was
Cool.
Lionheart Smith.
That's the best interview of the show, man. Yeah. Little trash talk, got deep in.
Man, he is upset.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was taking shit so personally.
Yeah, you might want to chill out on that.
You can start dropping elbows.
the trolling or whatever, yeah.
I just think that's something. I don't think he knew you were fucking around. Or that you were.
Yeah, maybe I'm not. I
or
don't
maybe
know.
he's fucking. I don't know. He did tell me that he
Yeah, see, I
does
think he's trying to bring to the interview the same thing that I'm trying to bring to the interview or to the internet or to the Instagram. Like, if he really didn't want Shell to repost that thing that he said, then he would ask them to take it down. No.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think that we all want the same thing. We all want to have a bigger name in the sport and get a chance to showcase and for people to see what we do. I don't think that you can't really fault Conor McGregor for being a shit talker, right?
No, absolutely not. Also, okay, let's go back to the fights over the weekend. Elias Theodoro, that fight was versus Dan Kelly. I thought Elias won. He threw 10,000 kicks, and that was the difference in the fight. But
Did he hold on to the cage as he threw them?
it seemed like Dan won like the people's, like the people were all rooting for Dan. It was in Australia, and they were hoping he lands that overhand right, and Elias kind of just. It was not the best looking striking I've ever seen.
No.
Alan?
I don't know, man. I don't know what to say on this one. Elias is, we know each other. We chat on social media a lot. We're real cool. I didn't love that fight, though, man. It was kind of just like kicking at distance the entire time. You know what I mean? Elias is a good fighter, an athletic dude. But I kind of feel like, I don't know if that's his style or a mix of his style and or the strategy from his camp, you know what I mean? Because at TriStar, they are really, and all due respect to them, they're a great gym, but they're really known for, just like doing the necessary to win the fight, not really going for the kill. And that fight, he was kind of just, taking the point route, winning on points.
He's also a work in progress. I mean, he had no martial arts background. He started like 5 years ago.
Really?
So, yeah. So
I didn't realize his kicks were that, like, he's got big legs, man, and he throws his kicks up there, like, with ease. But, at the end of the day, the people want to...
He started very young in the game.
He was on The Ultimate Fighter just a few years
in Canada.
ago.
He started very young in the game, and he had absolutely no background in anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like everything is a work in progress for him. But because he's a good-looking guy, and
he's on like
athletic,
a 5-fight win streak too, I think.
I mean, he beat a lot. I mean, he beat Sam Alvey, and he beat a lot of good guys.
Yeah.
That's a big win. That guy's tough.
Sam Alvey, yeah.
He's a nice guy.
He's also a guy that you could never look good beating unless you knock him out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like he's gonna.
It was the same type fight, to be honest. I remember that fight, and he kind of just kicked Sam the entire time. Didn't let Sam get in close.
I'll tell you who looked great was Tia Vusa with that flying knee. I'm trying to butcher.
Oh,
his
the
name.
big man.
Mark Hunt's training partner.
That was a UFC debut, and he comes and gets a flying knee knockout. I think he got the $50,000 bonus.
That was awesome.
What a debut, man.
And I wanted Astro Girl to win.
Yeah, me too.
Who?
I watched Alex Chambers.
Alex Chambers, she's this girl that was on The
it
Ultimate
was
Fighter.
a close fight. I almost think that she was on The Ultimate Fighter with me. She poor thing, like, has had back-to-back injuries. She's had I don't know how many surgeries on her ACLs. Like, one fight, she like jumped up in the air and then came down like after she won and like tore her knee. Yeah. And then she tore it when she fought Paige Van Zant. And then she's been out for a couple years. But she's just a really, really intelligent woman and just a really nice girl.
That happened to one of the kickers.
Football.
Yeah, the brothers that kick. He kicked the extra point, jumped up in the air. Came down
crazy, right?
I always wanted to do that backflip
ACL.
off the cage, but I'm like, man, if that didn't go well.
That is so dangerous. What's his name?
People running around in there.
Gacy or whatever.
Gaethje does that all the time.
I'm not trying to blow my knee out with that.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, what's going on with Team Alpha Male? right now? Because we've heard a lot of different people say that they got rid of their coach, or he's just a Muay Thai coach. Justin
Buckles.
Justin Buckhold.
Are you
Is everybody part of it? What's going
an
on?
alpha male stable?
Yeah.
There's always, a little, sometimes some trouble in paradise kind of thing, and it's not really for me to really discuss. I don't think, I think everything's gonna iron out nicely, and everyone's gonna find their right place for them. And Justin Buckles is not the head coach anymore, and obviously that sucks because he's like one of the, next to Greg Jackson, who's cornered more MMA rounds in UFC or whatever. Like that guy's right up there. So he's a great coach, and he's a good friend of mine, and a great mentor to both me and to my roommate Cynthia Calvillo. And so
That's your roommate?
That's my roommate.
Whoa,
The little feisty Mexican chick?
Yes,
That's
the
your
hot
roommate?
Mexican chick. What's going on there?
She's just awesome, good friend. I dog sit for her sometimes when she's got to do all
Does she
this.
have a boyfriend?
No, I don't think so.
And you're single?
I'm single.
So what's going on? Okay, let's
There's some
let's say
grappling sessions
have
going
you guys
on
ever-
over that apartment.
No. I think that we both know that would just be a bad idea.
come on,
roommates.
one time, a couple drinks in you guys, and you're just sort of.
It happens.
You think he's banged there?
For sure, because you start, watching a movie and then you do like lockdown spooning.
It'd be a lot cooler if we were cuddling right now.
Exactly, because grappling, cuddling, everybody's got overhooks and underhooks, and
He's like, I need to chew some gum.
Oh, wait,
right
have
now.
you done lockdown spooning with her?
No, actually, what's funny is like we're
Gable
both
grip
like
hand jobs?
super great at
No.
jiu-jitsu.
Go on.
And like she's like the best woman jiu-jitsu practitioner in the UFC right now, probably I would say. And we never even really go over that much technique because she has so much of her own programming and stuff going on. It's just encouragement and like
What about
maybe,
spooning, dude? We're talking about lockdown. What the hell are you talking about? Whereas I'm saying like late at night. Okay, you're watching.
You
a
said, like,
Netflix-
jiu-jitsu.
No. We said
Oh, my God.
spooning is what we said. Okay, so late at night, you're sitting there, right? You're
You're gonna have to have her on the podcast. and ask
Okay,
these
so you're sitting there,
questions.
you're
Yeah.
kind of horny, you're like, it's late, it's like 1 a.m. She comes in, she's wearing her little shorts. It says Team Alpha Male on the ass, right? She's got like a belly shirt. She's got all the
Stop, man.
tats.
She's gonna be so mad at me.
And you're
right
like, hey, what are you up to? Oh, nothing. I went on this Tinder date. The guy was an asshole. He fucking, I don't know. He has 6
that's
kids.
usually me, not her, telling that
fine.
story. So
You're like, so then you come in, she sits next to you, and you're like, you know what? How big's your cock? And you're like, I don't know. Open your mouth. That never happens. No, really?
I hate to disappoint you.
All right. Okay. All right. That's good. You're a good guy.
She's gonna be the UFC champion. I'll tell you that.
wow.
That's
sure
the
of
closest
that
you ever
fact.
come to being the UFC champ. No, that's no. I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you. Good for you, man. That's very nice of you. Can have
It's like
a girl.
it's like a joke. Like the jiu-jitsu's like just osmosis, like it just rubs off on people.
right.
It's like I moved in and now she's tapping everybody in the
Yeah.
UFC. So I'll just take full credit.
Does she have any hot friends that come by, or
Yeah.
and then what happens there?
Jamie.
I like Jamie Moyle.
Brooke, Yeah.
She's hot. She's adorable. Actually.
Tuss.
Ah,
Yeah. We got all kinds
Heather,
of
comments on this?
What do you mean? Why do I have it?
Have you ever had a
Heather
male
came over.
roommate that like? Oh, Heather came over.
Yeah.
And anything happened there? All right, let's talk. Okay.
Moving on.
All right, moving right on. All right, let's
Never
see.
brought up her name. Wow, she's so mad at me.
That was awesome.
All right, happy Thanksgiving. All right, so this week, by the way, Gina Danger's on the card. Gina Danger.
We could talk about Gina.
A girl that I used to date.
No, Gina's awesome.
back
Gina's
in the
my
day.
friend. We are never. I will only say good things about her. She looks amazing right now. Actually, I've been, obviously I follow her, and her last fight she took on short notice against Sarah McMahon, and I really felt like she wasn't getting enough support from people around her. People were doubting her and stuff,
Yeah.
and so I really made it a pact to go out there and just show her that I believed in her, and I really do, and I've trained with her a bunch. So.
She hits really hard.
She's just a very well-rounded girl, and she's really worked hard on her wrestling and her jiu-jitsu and stuff. I think, she came in as a great striker, so she's only just gotten better. So I'm really excited about this fight for her.
She's fighting in China this week. So I can't wait for that fight. Now, over the week, a couple days ago, Volkan got
Kylan's
arrested.
fighting too.
Before that, Volkan got arrested. You know Volkan?
I know him, man.
He
What
looks
did he
like-
do? He beat somebody up in
He
a
beats
bar?
at a bar, and I want to know if that guy lasted longer than his last couple opponents. The guy he beat up at a bar.
He seems like a good bar fighter, you know?
Here's a guy who's like right on the cusp of making a lot of money, and he got knocked out Jimmy Manoa in 1 round. He knocked out the other guy in 1 minute. What are you doing fighting in a Florida bar? And
I
who the
didn't
fuck's
get-
starting a fight with that guy?
I didn't get the details on it, but I think the story came out that he got in a fight, and there was even going to be like some type of aggravated battery or something like that, because like it was something about, I don't know what the laws are here or over there in Florida, but it was something about like when he had intentions to really seriously do bodily harm, and so it was added charges, whatever those were. But then I thought I saw some more stories coming out that said that he wasn't at fault, and he was getting like kind of, just a slap on the wrist for the whole thing. So I don't really know
I'm
where
sure
they
Dana,
stand.
the UFC called the Florida people and said, "Hey, listen."
Because like we need what is that? That was supposed to be the main event possibly a main event on December 30th or one of those, or maybe next year.
No, it couldn't have been the December 30th card.
Maybe later, maybe sometime early next year. But that would be the next
Maybe the
big
Boston
that
card.
guy,
title
I
fight.
mean, I don't even know how good he is. He just keeps knocking the people out in 1 minute.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's fighting in slow motion.
Yeah.
He hits you, you go out.
Isn't he the same guy that made his debut at like heavyweight or a weight class above? I think he made his debut at heavyweight and knocked that guy out. Then he went back down to 205. He just wanted an opportunity to get in the
I
UFC.
think you're right.
Now,
that?
now, one of the guys you beat, War Machine. You beat now.
War Machine.
Did you have any idea that this guy was going to be like the
He
worst human
definitely
being ever?
seemed like a real tool, like he had some. I mean, I have a lot of empathy for people and stuff. So like when I met him, I was almost like felt bad for him and stuff, and wanted to help him. As stupid. Hey, come train with us. Like after I won. But he went straight up, and I mean, after he beat up Christy Mack the way he did, and ended up going to prison and stuff, it's just a sad story.
There's a guy that actually I think I feel safer knowing that he's locked
that
up.
he's in. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate.
I hate to say it, but certain people, I think that
I don't know if it was like his
How many chances
childhood
can
or
you
what.
keep?
I mean, he had the
thought he was gonna
opportunities
try
to
rape
do big things, and he's a super strong athlete. We had a super
bump into a
close
guy
fight.
like that the wrong way, and next thing I know, he's trying to murder you.
I mean, that's
Rape you.
basically what it sounded like happened. He snapped on a lot of people, and he got in a couple fights before
Yeah.
that incident. And yeah, he was
Fuck that guy.
really doing nothing but bad things. So
How'd you beat him?
it was a split decision. It was probably the closest fight I've ever had, and it was like it's like one of those things where you look at the end of the fight, and you're like, I guess the MMA gods were shining on me today.
Well,
'cause
he
it
was talented, that guy.
Yeah, it
That's
was
the thing
really
about
strong.
Him. He could have been a
I
good
think he was
fighter.
on a ton of steroids
probably was
for
on
sure,
shit
but
too, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sure half the people I fought were on steroids, so I'm not really tripping on that. He was like cutting all kinds of weight, and he was like, I had a Skittle last night for dinner, and he was just like one of those guys, like just didn't really have his, it's like you're saying with this guy, like knock somebody out in a bar, look at John Jones or whatever, like. A lot of times we're our own worst enemy, and that's been the truth.
I think
for
most
me,
of the time. Comedians as well.
I believe that.
There was a guy you fought that might have been the scariest human being I've ever seen in my life. Jamie Jara.
Dude, had like a devil tattooed on his back and like
On his
all,
neck,
like,
his
all
face.
kinds of,
Jamie Jara.
And he-
drops everywhere.
And he's beating good guys, that guy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fights.
He had a win over...
like long-time black belt.
he had a win over Tim Means.
Yep.
And you not only did you choke him out, you did push-ups 3 seconds later. Why are you...
That's something I saw like Muay Thai fighters doing, like where the fight's kind of close and they bust out some push-ups. That I'm not really tired. And so I just started doing that. Like my first MMA fight, I triangle choked the guy, and then I just started, bust out 10 push-ups.
I was
In
like...
between rounds?
No, in the
after the
middle of the
fight's
cage.
over.
He taps him out and starts like 10 push-ups.
He's got to get a little more of a workout
Yeah,
in.
well,
you know?
you're pumped.
Alan does shit like that. Where like
I think that guy probably still hates me. to
Alan
this
had
day
one
for
of the
that.
coolest fights ever where, that Jean-Claude Van Damme move where he kicked the guy like 15 times in the head?
Yeah.
He did that during a fight.
I cheated a little bit though. I was holding the cage because I couldn't
were?
keep my balance. Yeah, I was holding the cage and I did
That's
like
illegal.
bop, bop, bop. It was illegal.
Oh, you did do
I think I might
that.
have slapped my wrist,
That
but
was still cool as shit, man.
and they didn't really land.
Theodore
but it
does
looked very
that too.
cool.
Every time he's by the cage, he grabs it
Who?
and he kicks.
Who does that?
Theodore, that guy Theodore.
Elias?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elias. Yeah, he does the same thing, but I don't know. But you don't. When you did it, you were doing the.
I think it was
Flutter.
that was like RFA days. I think it was at RFA. Yeah.
Another guy you beat who actually is super tough, Fernando Gonzalez.
Fernando Gonzalez been on a serious run.
And he's headlining Bellator January 20th. And you were the first guy to
Anthony's
ever...
gonna win that UFC belt after I tap him.
First guy you ever stopped was...
with a TKO.
Yeah. And the first time, you were the first guy to ever stop him.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
Fernando
that.
Gonzalez.
Yeah, no, he was a super tough fighter. I broke his orbital, and I remember him like telling me, "Oh, you got to go back to UFC." And
See all you young guys out there listen to the podcast or whatever. A lot,
that's a good fight. Watch that
a lot
one.
of you
too. That
guys
was
don't
good.
know about guys like David Mitchell because you're just going into
Now
it
you
now
know.
and you're like, oh shit, fucking Conor McGregor is the greatest or whoever it is. But there are a lot of guys like you.
Yeah.
Who
Jesse
wrote-
Taylor said I was like an unknown legend or something like that when I was at his gym training. I was like, yeah, I guess you could say about
like
that. Like,
it.
it's kind of like sucks, because I would have liked to have made it bigger, but you know, I'm 38 and I still got some fighting in me, so we'll see.
Well, you haven't had a real job in 20 years either.
That's true.
so I mean,
I worked the last in 1998 or something.
Yeah, so
or 2000.
so in a way, you have made it.
I've done all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, Alan, what do you got coming up?
Like I said, man, hopefully you will see me on one of these big cards mid-January. Looking to get back in there, man.
Who do you want to fight?
I
What about
hate
Hector?
to say I don't care, but nah, I mean he's already fought all the who?
Hector Lombard.
Oh, okay. I thought he was matching us up. Hector's not my weight class. I'm welterweight. Hector's barely making 85 as it is. But
Now, do you
I'm
have-
at the mercy of the UFC right now, man. I'm coming off of a loss. You know, it's like
Do you? Now that's what I'm saying. Like you coming off 2 losses. Do you have to fight a guy coming off a loss? Do you think, or do you think?
traditionally that's what they like to do. Loss, win.
Always, it just depends on if they're trying to build somebody.
Right, but then like I lost to Gunnar Nelson, and then they gave me whatever. My last guy was like an undefeated prospect, so like it doesn't always. It didn't work out that way last time.
You beating that guy, Mike Perry, was the greatest thing in the history of sports.
Yeah, I feel
All
like
sports.
they giving me like my last, other than Gunnar, 3 of my last 4 guys were undefeated young guys. you know,
Yeah.
So I'll
Me
take
too,
whoever, but yeah, we're trying to get a smart fight. Obviously, you come off with 2 losses. You want somebody that you feel you match up well against. I think we sent them a list like a week ago of guys that needed fights that we liked. And I'm just waiting to hear back, man. Like I said, I think I'm gonna call Sean Shelby in about 5 minutes and see what's up.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned.
Yes. And then who do you want to fight?
I don't know who FFC is gonna bring in for me to fight. You know, maybe after I tap Anthony Smith, we could do that rematch in the UFC, and then you know that would be cool.
There you go.
And Heather, any Invicta news? Nothing.
No, I mean they all offered me a fight, and I wasn't able to take. It was this one in December. They had said it was possibly gonna be end of November, and there was no way I was gonna be ready.
Against who?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
But so because it could be. I'm not gonna say because it could happen in the future.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of just exploring my options, thinking about possibly like boxing again, kickboxing. Never done that. I hit up Ryzen, hit up Bellator, ONE FC, maybe a possibility. I talked to Henzo Gracie this week. He said he's gonna put in a good word for me. So
Should the
playing.
fans start like a hashtag, give Heather a fight, and like hit up all these people?
How about just like people who want to see me? You want to see me fight, and let's see who you guys want to see me fight.
All right.
And it just really doesn't matter the promotion at the moment.
Is CB still doing the show?
Yeah, but he cancels all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife went get a tattoo at his shop the other day.
Really?
Yeah, like randomly.
No way.
She goes, I'm going to meet a friend for margaritas and tacos. She goes and gets a tattoo and comes
What
home
does
with
it
it.
say,
And
though?
it was at the shop.
It wasn't
It's in
Conor
Thai,
McGregor, was
yes?
it?
It was a picture. Yeah, no. No, it was. I forget who the tattoo artist was, but he knew like of our crowd.
What does
and
it
then
say,
CB
Alan?
was it. Her
Because
tattoo.
it's in Thai, right?
It's Thai. It's like her dad's name or something in
okay.
Thai. Yeah, but
It looks
yeah, it was
cool.
funny that she picked CB's shop.
That's ridiculous.
She's actually like, CB.
Oh, God.
There's only one really.
So this Friday night, I'm at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. Hit me up if you want to get on the guest list, 9:45. Then Friday the 1st, I'm in Mesquite, Nevada, Casablanca Casino. Saturday the 2nd, Laugh Factory again in Hollywood. Then I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, doing comedy with Gerald Harris, December 3rd. And New Year's Eve, that whole week, I'm at the Stratosphere in Las Vegas.
Oh boy, you're back in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm back in Vegas. Thank you for coming, David. It's an honor to have you on.
It was a real pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Alan. And,
My pleasure, man.
We're blessed to have you, Heather, as well.
Thank you.
thank
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew Montanez.
Couldn't do this without you.
Yes.
But before we go, we need to know who's willing to submit their applications to have
wrestle.
wrestling
I will
match.
do a wrestling
for
match
Adam.
for
You're gonna have,
charity.
as soon as we book it, we're gonna have 8 weeks
Against
to train for it.
a real MMA fighter.
A real MMA fighter. We're hoping somebody like in one of the top promotions.
Uriah Faber.
Yep, Uriah, whoever.
Bubba
we're
or Kenny
doing.
Johnson.
Yeah, Bubba
And
Jenkins.
what do we
Yeah, I
get?
want
What's
Bubba
the prize?
Jenkins.
What's the prize of this? What's
Now
the
you're
prize?
talking.
We gotta come up with
the
a prize.
prize is you get to wrestle me.
No.
Your prize
for charity.
is
It's for charity,
You get a
okay.
blowjob by Angela Magana. She will blow the
And
loser.
you
which
get
is gonna be me. So
herpes.
and you get
I'm trying to
herpes.
lose that fight.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.